Okay, okay. I think we're live. Sorry about that, everybody. I've just been cleaning a ton in the shop. There's been a bunch of just pieces moving and flying around. So I have just not been on top of it today. I had to clean a bunch off to be able to stream. Oh God! But we're here now. We're here now. Trooper Tuesday. Oops. All troopers. Yet again. So we got a bunch of stuff to look through today, and I wanted to talk a little bit about Pepakura in general. Hello, Orlando. Good to see you. Good to see everybody who's showed up. We're going to be talking about some of the things that we're going to be putting out here. Some of the stuff that's probably going to drop a little later in the week. We're going to be talking about Pepakura as always. So let's dig right in. First and foremost, something that's been requested for a while. I do have a Phase 2 Clone Trooper chilling out here. That is this Phase 2 Clone Trooper, just pretty basic shape. It doesn't have the fin, but you know, what are you gonna do? Hey Diaxis, hello everybody. So this has actually been requested a number of times, and I wanted to just briefly chat a little bit about the way this was broken down, because I think that this is very telling in terms of the way most trooper buckets are broken down these. Oh, my dog and a toy. Most trooper buckets sort of break down in terms of templates. This is probably the simplest way to do it. Yeah, no, I highly recommend EVA foam for stormtroopers and trooper buckets in general. Not just because I have a bunch of templates, but because it's actually very easy, as evidenced by the fact that I just keep doing it. LOL. But no, it's super fun. And it really is sort of the simple breakdown, you know. If you can get the sort of wraparound bucket, you know, from faceplate to back, that's probably good. I like to separate my tubes, at least into two parts, so that I get that nice curve. And then, of course, I have many buckets to go through, but I am going to get to the airborne model. It's one of the few that I've got today. So here's the sort of breakdown. We're kind of talking about how this breaks down most trooper buckets here, but then we're gonna move on to some more animated stuff, and then I also wanted to give a huge shout out to our Discord, because a bunch of people have been dropping a bunch of really cool models over there, and we've been slowly working through them. To wit, actually, I'll jump away from this for a second. This helmet was something that I actually did a full remap for, and some minor editing on overall shape, to put together some fun templates for some folks over on our Discord, and it's super fun. We really like it. We like to see it, and yeah, I honestly, wait, what the heck? Did I goof? Oh, I did goof. I made a goof. Sorry, I'm just noticing my own goof. I left a line across the top here that doesn't need to be there. That's crazy. Hang on. Sorry, sometimes you notice your own goofs while you're talking out loud, and you gotta fix them real quick. There we go. Sorry about that. Evening, Melvin. We're talking about goofs. We're talking about well, actually, right now we're talking about the fact that over on our Discord, lots of people have been dropping requests and 3D models and things over there. And it's super fun to get to interact with the community that way and pump out these templates. These templates, and by the way, were uploaded straight to the Discord in response to that. And it's so cool. I had a lot of fun interacting with folks over there, because this is a really fun sort of collaborative hobby. At any rate, these guys are over there. I digress from talking about the Discord for a moment. Yes, I will save that because I need to update it now. Lord. What? No, just save it as the thing. There we go. Oh, wait, no, I clicked open. That's what happened. Okay, so I wanted to talk a little bit about this helmet, because this is something that I've been sitting on for a little while. It's just sort of got the overall block shape, I think, of most trooper buckets, and it sort of typifies the way I like to break down my helmet patterns these days, which is great. You know, you can get those really nice flaps on the lower edge to really tuck it underneath the main body of the bucket, and then of course this piece in the back here, the cutout, always has that same sort of shape where it just rests on the inside and ties everything together. And of course you got over the top of this here, and then you got the two deedly bobs at the front. Circle, fun diamond shape under that, etc., etc., etc. And all of these I have found so far really do kind of break down in the same way. To wit, let's look at another bucket that I also finished quite recently. Phase 1 Clone Trooper helmet. I think this thing turned out really nice, especially. And there's a lot of really fun elements to this one, especially that I enjoy, which is that just due to the nature of it, some of the faceplate and back panels are sort of separate from one another, but the trade-off is that they're really, really tight, really easy to comprehend. You know, you've got faceplate, you've got back, and I was able to get the cheek recesses as part of the sort of top of the tube. And then, of course, you got the lower part of the tube right there. And it's, you know, it all just sort of neatly falls together. Same sort of dome pattern, same sort of way that the whatchamacallit, the mohawk, the fin at the top sort of comes together. It all just sort of works, and that's why I like doing these trooper buckets, honestly. So these two are definitely going to be coming out later tonight. As soon as I finish the stream, I'm going to be adding those to the doobly-doo down below, because I want to see what you guys can come up with, you know, dinking around with these templates, and of course, if you come up with a much, much better way to have this all together, please, by all means, let me know. Check it out, drop it in our Discord. I always love seeing other people's takes on things, because I think we can really, really come together with some really fun solutions on common builds. And then, of course, also coming along with those is this absolute monstrosity, which is something I cobbled together from a bunch of different reference and also some garbage model, and just a ton, and I mean an absolute ton, of the subdivision tool in the 3D menu. So we've also got, to go along with those buckets, a Phase 2 Arc Trooper, which I think will be very helpful to some of you, even if it is a little low on detail. But for now, I think it's time we start working on some new stuff, some stuff that hasn't been put together yet. To wit, I would really like to jump over to here. I have been working on this model of a Rebel Stormtrooper helmet, which is very similar to your average Stormtrooper helmet. It's just got some of the features that are a little more exaggerated, a little more organic, frankly. And so, to that end, I'm going to go 3D menu, just so that I can see my edges a little better. We're going to shade this under the display settings so that I've got a much better sense of where all those different geometry sort of comes together. And I've already gone through, here I'll kind of center this for a second. I've already gone through and done a bunch of work in the 3D menu. You can see I have gone through edit mode, specified these cut line edges. And this is how it's going to try to sort of break it down on the whole when I tell it to just unfold everything. I'd like to do one other thing before we just go ahead and unfold. It's something I don't do a ton because I tend to be rip-roaring and just kind of going with stuff, but this should hypothetically save us some time. I'm going to go to 3D mode, edit menu, excuse me, not edit mode, edge selecting, edge just between 2 points. And now what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to separate all of this part, this band, vertically, so that when it unfolds, those will all be clean and I can just stitch them all together rather than stitching and unstitching a bunch of parts together in, you know, frankly weird ways, based on as it tries to preserve the overall shape. That's just a rough thing to do. It takes a lot of time, and this should hypothetically save us some time, even if it does look a little wonky as I'm doing it. And to that end, you can see I'm just going across here, and I'm not going all the way over the bucket because actually as we get to the top here, it's not going to go this way so much as it's going to go this way to accommodate the side of this here. Let's see, make sure that's lining up. Great. That's the way. I like it. This is actually a really great example. Somebody made this free on Thingiverse. Well, they made a base version of this free that I have gone absolutely hog wild on. Yeah, a lot like Paper Pep. except I'm then going to in the 2D menu, in the 2D window over there, I'm going to go back in and stick these back together. We're going to see how much faster I can do it this way, frankly. Just because I would like to be able to do more of these on stream. Gosh, sometimes I feel like I'm just fighting the clock. Like, we've been talking a little bit, and while I have been able to show you guys, 4 different helmets that I have worked up some templates for, the trade-off here is that I have definitely for sure used up a quarter of my time already. And that's rough. I want to show you guys lots of stuff. I do. So we're just kind of breaking this up. And it might look a little haphazard here, but I swear once we plug this into the unfold, it's going to generate something really, really fun. There we go. Bop, 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 That was a song, right? There we go. Yeah, sure. We'll call that good. Okay, with that, let's go ahead, we'll click unfold. I've unchecked the auto box, roll out, because I would like to specify the height, because for whatever reason, my Pepakura keeps specifying that these helmets are like 40 inches, 30 inches tall, and that's weird. I don't like that. Let's just start at like 11.5. Yeah, I know that's way too big, but we'll call that a good starting point, and we'll move on from there. So now seemingly nothing has happened, but actually, there we are. It's over here in the 2D menu. Now let's blow this guy up a little bit, and then we're going to do a couple things. 2D menu, we're going to get rid of all these flaps. Those flaps aren't useful in paper, as those of you who follow us regularly know. Now we have a lot of these pieces that we specified before. You can see that they're all sort of organized there. Let's grab the first one, and let's see if we can perform a little magic trick here, because I think we can. I think if we go across, and we just grab all these, it'll be the most marshaled, clean foam build I've put together in some time. It'll probably go together the fastest, too. Here we go. Look at that. Yay! Glad to see you here, Landon. Good to see ya. We are unfolding. This is a Rebels animated Stormtrooper helmet that I have gone through and done quite a bit of editing on in the name of creating some fun templates. So let's create some fun templates, and let's do so by, I think you're probably going to need to do it like that. Yeah, there we go. Great. You want to go like that, I think. Yeah, that's basically, yeah, that was probably the fastest over the top I've done here. I was wondering how those flaps aren't auto-adjoining. They always do when I try to unfold. Auto-adjoining. I'm not. Are you asking why it was separated into those chunks like that? Because I manually separated them so that I could, rather than having one bulk piece that was a little woodgy all over, I had a bunch of marshaled pieces that I just swooped together really fast. Because that's what you can do. That's what you got the option to do. And then, of course, we got the sort of back plate here. Pretty fast. Now, see, I didn't do that for these parts, and you can see the flippity-flop of that. Like the 3 segments always join. Yeah, I didn't join. I manually separated those because I was looking to try and do this a little faster than what I'm doing right now, which is where I have to go through disjoin certain parts and then rejoin them in more favorable ways. Rather, I just join them all in the way that I knew was going to be most favorable to me, generally speaking. And of course, it's important to be open to different things as you're going along. Like if I had as I was going through there discovered that there was just a better way to do what I was doing, I would have done it that way. But to be frank, I didn't really expect there to be like a big surprise on that level. So I'm pretty happy with what I got through there. perfectly frank, I'm not totally sure what it is you're referring to. Like, are you trying to say how if you wanted to join this to here, you could just click that there and it would separate it like that? Is that what you're referring to? The piece would just have no cuts in it. That doesn't make any sense. I'm a little confused. Yeah, I'm not totally sure. I'm not totally sure I grasp where you're coming from, Landon. If anybody else in the chat is able to see the forest through the trees here, I might just be SOL on this one, my dude. I'm sorry. And then we're gonna add this edge sort of around the eye here, just because it makes a good reference for, you know, having extra space around your goggle piece. Yeah, that might be it. I mean, oh yeah. Oh. So we join adjacent edges a lot here. We'll go to the 2D menu, join adjacent edges to do this, which crudely just kind of mushes all that gobbledygook together. But there is a setting in settings, other settings, and I think it's in advanced. Yes, it will join adjacent edges automatically below a certain threshold because certain things aren't important already. Those smaller cut lines would be automatically joined. Yeah, so I'm guessing this right here. I can't zoom in. This one right here is probably checked, and this threshold is probably set way too high. You'll note I have it set for less than half of a thousandth of an inch. Because I do all of my stuff manually, generally speaking. But if there is, you know, an edge together there that is just virtually flat, I do want it to try and join that edge together. It was set at 1 inch. There we go. Yes! Way to go, Diaxis. You nailed it. You nailed that problem. That is, whew. Way to troubleshoot, folks. Wow. It's a rare day. All right. Okay, let's see. I'm going to open that up so this is about a little more even there. Nice. And then, yeah, whoa, I don't know what I just did there. I think I opened settings accidentally. Here we go. So now we got one eye cup right there. One gaggle. Single gaggle. Here we go. Let's grab one of the ear cups here. And okay, this should be pretty fast because one of the things I really love to do that's one of the easiest ways to start editing a very complex model when you're handed it is I'll drop this into Blender, and in the edit mode I will just send all the tries to quads because quads are way easier to handle in Pepakura. They join better. But more than that, they also are really easy to work around edges and things, so you don't wind up wasting a bunch of time undoing individual phases, and you're just adjoining them as you go. There we go. Again, just whoop. Move that back up here. Bam, bam. We're trucking. My goal for this one tonight is basically just to spend enough time that we've got the basic shapes roughed out, and then we can move on to the next thing, because we got so many troopers. It's all troopers. Oops. All troopers. We got actually a bunch of stuff that I know I'm not going to get tonight, but I do want to show off because we have super awesome members of the community like Diaxis who will just send stuff over because they're awesome. And we love not only to credit them, but to get to show off the amazing work that they do, basically just for the credit of having done the work. And I love to get to showcase that stuff because you people are awesome. It's the reason that I love having the Discord and having all the people who will chat on there about the best ways to approach things and, you know, the different ways to try and unfold really complex models. It's a super fun, super welcoming place. I don't know. I'm the admin over at Everything EVA Cosplay on Facebook. And I generally don't have to step in a whole lot. I think in the entire time I've been admin so far, I've only had to step in on have to unfolded any cardboard templates. I don't think I've unfolded any cardboard templates. In fact, I've actively warned people that my templates generally require a lot more bending than most cardboard will allow you. I'm fully aware that it's possible to get cardboard to bend pretty severely and do some really impressive things, and I'm not out here to, get on anybody's case about that. But I will say that it can be prohibitive, the way I unfold in terms of foam. If you're looking for cardboard peps, I would look to something more like what JF Custom used to do. They do usually use foam templates for cardboard, although I will say mine are a little more severe. Like, take for instance this dome piece. In foam, it'll create a nice relaxed curve as those two just fold together. But in cardboard, generally, even if you're really working it, you're still going to get kind of a sharp point there along this edge right here, because this is just a really aggressive curve, something that foam does really well, but cardboard doesn't do quite as well. Like I was saying, you would probably be better off looking more towards a fella like JF Custom, who does he does stuff for foam that I don't like the way he unfolds for foam, but I really like the way he unfolds in terms of how well it works for cardboard. I've seen some really, really strong fiberglass builds out of cardboard using his templates, because you can get all those shapes and all that detail in there, but with a lot less work, because you're not spending so much time trying to get small, tiny paperweight details that just they take forever. They just do. There we go. So this looks pretty good. That is kind of aggressive right there. Will that join when I click join? It will. Okay, I'm gonna call that good then, or at least good on that side. We're gonna combine it with this one over here. Yep, I know what it did. Here we go. Doop-a-doop-a-doop. Red, the blood of angry men. Black, the dark of ages past. Move one side. For cardboard, I would just probably basically double the amount of breaks in this pattern, because that's a very crude way of describing what I do to this pattern. But basically, I would probably want to let the pattern pieces relax a bit more in terms of how much curving they have to do. So I'd probably double the amount of pieces. So instead of like 2 pieces, top and bottom for this tube, it would probably be like 4 pieces. Literally just search the terms JF Custom and the RPF, and you'll find a really nice thread with a lot of his pieces that's still pretty active. People don't add to it so much as all of the links and stuff are still hot. They still work and whatnot, which is rare. It's rare that people set their links up well on the RPF. Oh, man. Yeah, no, it's super easy to find. I should sing in operas. I have. I am classically trained, and I have sung in operas, and I have sung in musicals, theater. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy it. But as you might imagine, there's not a lot of theater going on right now. Can't whistle right, though. God dang. Here we go. Yeah. No, that's my degree is in theater. I have an honors in performance and a secondary focus in costuming, which is a lot of what you're seeing here, actually. Just applied in very, very fun, specific ways. Ways that are objectively more fun than theater, I think. Need a raw reader for those. You're right. You do need a raw. I use oh god. Oh, what is it? I use WinRAR, I think, which is, they'll tell you it's a They'll tell you it's a it's a paid program, but it will be free forever. Yep, WinRAR. It'll ask you to buy a license, but you don't need to buy a license, and not in a way where like you can hack. There are people who hack Pepakura. Like, don't do that. It's such a cheap program. If you're gonna buy it, just buy it. No, but WinRAR will actually just let you use it for free forever with very little effect to the functionality of the program. So if you're looking to open up zip files or .rar files, can't recommend WinRAR enough. It's a super easy program that just works. Sometimes that's what you need. You just need a program that works. I have realized, though, in selling some templates, that some people just don't know about that stuff, which is just interesting to me. It's not like a bad thing. It's just not something I realized when I first started doing this. Yeah, well, there you go. There you go. Diax has got everybody covered there. But it's one of those things where I didn't realize that so many people didn't know about like compressed folders and compressed data like that. Because it saves tons of space. It's way easier to help somebody download something. I don't know. The other thing that's really surprising me is how many people watch my videos and check out my templates, but still get really frazzled by the idea that Pepakura is kind of the easiest way to view all my stuff. And I understand that some people, quite reasonably, are on Mac, and it can be hard, and that's why I include reference photos to the best of my ability. It takes a little time, but it's what it is, and I try to be clear and concise in the way that I do things. But I don't know, it's just weird sometimes when I see people just get baffled by the fact that the PDF is really just a PDF of the Pepakura Unfold. I don't tend to add too much annotation because it really is meant to be viewed in Pepakura so that you get these references. So you can just go click on the 2D piece and there it is in the 3D. There it is. He says hello. Let's see here. All right. Break this up like that. 'Twas late 65 at the old Wolsey Yard. She was commissioned to haul the black tar. Built the Northumbria there on the bar. Roll, Northumbria, roll. For when the Egyptians they closed the Red Sea, call came on high from the powers that be to build a royal monster right there on the quay. Roll, Northumbria, roll, me boys. Roll, Northumbria, roll. If anybody's looking for good music, I have recently been very into the Dreadnoughts. They do like shanties, they do rock, they do lots of stuff. They've got a really great album called Polka's Not Dead that absolutely slaps. If you're looking for something fun, there it is. Okay, there. I think that's the way to even this part out. Yeah, that now it's not too much on either side there. But nope, that's good, I think. Yeah, no, that kicks ass. Sorry, everybody. Here we go. Let's see. Yep, we'll get this part as well. Super simple. This part barely even needs any editing there. Will you be doing Revenge of the Sith clone helmet? Oh, like a Phase 2 clone trooper? Like a movie version? I already have one. I actually sell that one in my Etsy store. It's probably the only one, the only trooper bucket other than I have a Phase 1 and I have a Phase 2 like live action clone on my Etsy store. I have a Phase 1 that's free as well, although admittedly it's not as detailed. But I really like what I was able to put together for my Etsy store, so I will probably not release a free one of those. I am sorry, it's quite easy. Just joined the Discord. Didn't think about it before. Hey, you know what? Absolutely. If you join the Discord at any time, you're there, and then you get to enjoy all the stuff that's happening. I don't know. It's just a really nice, wholesome place. People will just randomly ask what everybody's working on, and we'll like chat about it. And sometimes that develops into like video ideas. Like, of course, last week we went through and we did a bunch of Discord requests. It was super fun. Tips. Shorthand tip. Do make better seams. But long form tips. It's a delicate art. For me, my big thing, because I do lots of side projects. So I've got this Batman cowl, and I did some silicone caulk already, but you can still see the seams, which is why I'm actually just gonna go through and do another round. I think the hardest thing to work out is how little you can make the seam without it starting to look like you've just got a ton of caulk on there. Because you're going to need to feather it out on the sides more so than the center. Because if you just feather it out a lot, you're going to wind up getting rid of the caulk that's actually hiding the seam. Obviously, the best way to be able to fill seams is to not have seams. Recently, I discovered something that I'm going to need to experiment with more because it was kind of an accident. But I discovered when I got some glue on my rotary tool, I was able to sand a seam together in a way where when I was sanding it, it was like closing it down. It was really weird. Yes, I am doing a video for the Batman cowl. That's actually why I'm doing this one in particular. It's nearly done, as you can tell. It does fit me, although it fits me a little weird. Because I goofed a little bit. But it still looks very cool. And I like it a lot. Ugh. There we go. Take that back off. Wow. I really like the Batfleck cowl. Batfleck is my favorite Batman. And I know that that's the wrong opinion, but it's the opinion I have. Please don't judge me. I just really like it. I don't know. Let's see here. Yes. This up. Depending. I don't think I'm going to need to separate this lengthwise the way I did the tube. I think I can actually just run this down the edge. Or what I might do is I might make a break right there. Yeah. Kind of like my actual Stormtrooper helmet, which if you haven't checked out, there was a series of live streams we did a little while back where we put together an entire Stormtrooper's worth of templates, and those are totally free on the channel now as well. I'd highly recommend checking it out. Matt's Bat is looking good. It is, though. Here's the thing. I can't say Pattinson is my favorite Batman yet because I haven't seen it. And that's really the only thing stopping me right now, I think. Because it does look quite cool, doesn't it? Yeah, no, I love that. Well, and one of the things I really loved about Affleck's cowl is it's still a one-piece cowl, but they spent a lot of time and energy basically making sure that he could move his head. And that was a huge focus for them. It was a huge point of interest for the way they made their helmet, and that's so cool to me. Here we go. Sorry, I'm just trying to ease up these corners a little bit so that when I join them together, they look nice and pretty. Because that doesn't look pretty. Does this look pretty? I feel like it's not gonna. Ooh, not really. Let me see if I can. If I move both of them off a little bit, maybe that'll be a little better. Oh, I bet you that'll look really good. I know that this is changing the shape of the pattern just a little bit, but I think, yeah, there we go. That should hopefully clean this up to the point where it's not a huge deal. Yep, I like that a lot. Well, that's fair. I think that's a fair critique of Affleck and his Batman and just Ben Affleck in general. He does always kind of look like he's just gotten off of friggin' something. Ugh. Here we go. See, this piece... You know, I used to not be a fan of breaking up the front rebreather piece like this so much, but then my Hunter helmet, I did that. I did that for the front edge piece here, and this shape just turned out really, really nice. And it's kind of won me over, so that's kind of how I started separating these out. It works, and it looks nice, so, you know. Now, here's the real sticky wicket. Is this... There we go. Yeah, I want to grab that like that, so that when it wraps around, it's just got the one piece right there. And then there's sort of this centerpiece like we were talking about earlier, right at the beginning of this. Yeah, George Clooney doesn't turn his head ever. Headcanon, George Clooney just can't turn his head, and that's why they made Batman unable to turn his head. Of course, Keaton can't turn his head, but shush. No tears now. Here we go. All right, we'll grab that. Grab this. Oh, that's so close. But you can see, this is a great example of needing to watch your darts that you're creating, because even though all of these are really small, you can see suddenly this entire piece is curving to the right, and we want to even that out a little bit more, so we'll kind of go back and forth with these, even though they're all very tiny, just like that. And now it's pretty straight. Now it's pretty straight, and that'll work for what we want. There we go. And I don't know, I'm actually a little torn about whether I'd use these profile pieces to make it, or if I just make the strips. I might leave that up to the end user. But you can see we've just about finished, you know, one full side of these templates. I'm actually quite happy with the way these look. Not just in a, oh, it could have been worse kind of way, but in a way where it's like, this is probably actually going to be pretty easy to put together, ultimately. I'll have a lot of fun tidying this up a little bit more, and of course, you know, deleting a bunch of lines until we really look good behind this. Yeah, there's a Batman helmet behind me there. There's Batman helmet, there's Captain Rex, and then there's actually this piece, which is currently a collab we're doing with Diabolical Props. It's a custom Iron Warrior Warhammer helmet, which I think has turned out really nice, and has been subtly dubbed Killdozer based on the teeth we got on the front here. And it is a gnarly looking piece of work. I really like the way this thing's turning out. We're going to be spending a little bit of time on Thursday messing with this, but also some other stuff. I don't know, I've got some cool stuff planned in the works. I've also got some stuff in the works that isn't so much planned. Like, a bunch of people have been asking if me and my little brother are going to do a collab, and I think we might. Actually I extended the offer to my groomsmen to make something in the shop here with me, so we might be doing that too. You know, we'll see what's going on. But in the meantime, I would say that these templates are in a good enough place that I feel comfortable calling this done for the stream's sake. So why don't we pop over and check out, I've got, you know what, actually, shameless self-plug for a moment. I recently finished up these templates right here, and I'm really quite happy with them. These are now on my Etsy store. This is a Ralph McQuarrie Darth Vader concept helmet foam templates, and I could not be happier with how this has turned out. So if you like this version of Vader, I do have templates available for it at my Etsy store. Link them all in the description. But they're just $3, like pretty much all my templates. So if you like it, it's over there, and it's a pretty easy way to support the shop. I'm quite happy with these. Yeah. But I digress. Shameless self-plug. Well, a little shame. Little bit of Catholic guilt. Catholic shame. There we go. Let's see here. I'm going to pop over. Where? Did it not download? Hang on. Oh, no, there it is. It's the OBJ file. I haven't done virtually anything with this model yet. Oh, man. It's gotten a little weird. Okay, so I have to adjust the model coordinates, make sure that this is facing the right direction. No invert. But then we're just going to unfold this real quick so that I can do this. This one has a lot of faces, although I will say, even though it has a lot of faces, they are all directionally beautiful. and I was able to eliminate a lot of double faces. Now, there are still some weird things with this object that I was kind of tweaking in Blender and trying to see if I can get it to properly adjoin, because there's like this edge piece up here, which is only connected to the top and not connected to this part, which, if you know the way I build and the way I pattern, that's not ideal, because I would want to attach this part, this part, this edge right here, to this piece. But this, wait, what is this? Keep my helmet from coming too wide at the bottom. One of my clone helmets did the line. Oh yeah, no, Diaxis, you're absolutely correct. Gluing a strip of foam on the inside lower edges of the helmet is one of the easiest ways to fix that. Now, of course, heat forming will also help you out. And of course, one of the things I love about Pepakura, especially, is, you know, especially if you've got like a blender, you can just add a part along the bottom if you want to add that in. Fortunately, some of my more recent builds have just been really tight, and I was able to get the good shape. You know, I didn't have to add something on the bottom. I actually removed a part that normally would go right here so that I could get at least somebody's head in there. But, yeah. So, this one I might... We can do a little unfolding here, but I might still pop this back into Blender to see if I can tidy this model up anymore. Let's go ahead. We'll undo this unfold. We are not going to apply the open edge. Instead, we're just going to recenter this. We're going to recenter ourselves. Helmets, templates. I sell the only templates that I sell that I've shown off tonight are the Vader templates. Those are on my Etsy store. I only sell a small number of templates, but if you are interested in them, it's a Phase 2 Clone Trooper, a Phase 2 Clone Armor and add-ons, as well as I have Batflex Cowl, and of course now the Macquarie Darth Vader. And a generic arm and muscle template that I'm actually reworking because I'd like it to be better. I try to hold myself to a high standard. I do, I swear. I know it doesn't look like it, but I swear, I try. Let's go. We're going to go to 3D mode, edit mode. Come on. Specify cut line edges. And then I am doing edges between 2 points under edge selecting. Because this has become my new favorite way to do things. So let's start here. We're going to grab sort of the center here. Immediately just break apart the dome pattern. Bop, bop, bop. Come on. God, it's like slightly tucked under. Oh yeah, I'm sure this is very useful to everybody. Here we go. No, I didn't do that right at all. Some of those peps are really expensive. My peps? Or like peps on Etsy. I actually don't know what you're referring to there, STR. I try to keep my peps, the few that I sell at least, pretty cheap. Because I think that there are some people who sell on Etsy whose products, at least in terms of templates, are a little below what I would feel comfortable selling, to be perfectly frank. And they're fairly expensive. No, but most of mine I sell for just like $3. And I don't see most of that because, you know, tax and whatnot. Not that I'm complaining, just that that's the way it is. So I don't want anybody getting weird ideas that I'm, like, grotesquely profiting off stuff. Oh, yeah! No, I also sell items. I not everything I sell on my Etsy store is a Pepakura. I don't, to be clear, I don't sell pep files for, like, $200. I sell, like, a Hylian shield for $200. Oh, God. Can you imagine? Oh, that'd be garbage. That'd be garbage. Forgive me. I'm going to split this quad real quick because I would like to have a more curved edge right here. Now we're just going to... just like that. See? Way easier. How am I doing those fancy long cuts? So, I have recently learned that there are different ways to edge select in Pepakura as part of my ongoing love affair with trying to learn all the tools in Pepakura, as well as my recent work in trying to develop like a holistic tutorial for Pepakura and other things. I have discovered that in the 3D menu, you can change the way you edge select under edge selecting, and you can go from single edge to edges between 2 points. Now, this isn't an infallible system. To wit, if I, say, wanted to go all the way around the model from here to here, it would try to draw a line shortly between there. I do have an Instagram. Actually, if you check down below, there's a little link that says Linktree. If you click on that, it's got all our social media, including the Discord, my Facebook, my Etsy, probably some other stuff. Oh god, I might be missing some stuff. Now I need to remember what it is. I'm such a scatterbrain. Like I do know that I put the link down there, but boy oh boy does it go everywhere. It says it's under brand new Discord. I put the link tree there for now. It's not brand new anymore. At some point I just have to call it the Discord. Yeah, it's got my Patreon, the YouTube channel, Insta, Discord, Facebook, and of course just contacting me directly. But I digress. Yeah, so this tool, this different way of edge selecting is not infallible, but it is nice for some of these broad sweeping shapes. You just got to make sure you don't overdo it, or else if you're not careful, it'll try to like bounce inside of the bounds. Oop, couldn't find a path between those 2 points. That's probably because there's a lot of intersecting faces over here. This is not a model I created. It is just a model that I have heavily edited in the name of trying to make it a good Pepakura file. So we're getting there with it. I think I might need to do another pass in the 3D. But for now, you can see this is pretty good. Like, the shapes are pretty well defined. I'd probably go from, like, there to here. From here. And here's the thing that really bugs me is this Oh. Some tools just fell off my wall. Ooh, we're having a hell of a night, aren't we? Sorry. But you can see that there's just some intersecting here that's not great. And I've been trying to figure out the best way to tackle that in Blender. But in the meantime, you know, we got sort of the basic shape here. This would still make a good pep as is. And I think it's actually worth kind of going through peps that aren't necessarily perfect, because sometimes you'll learn things about where you needed faces and edges. That's important, I think. Yeah, the inside is a bit of a mess, because you can see there that is intersecting, but there is still the recessed bit in the middle. That's still a part of the model, so it's a little wonky there. What I might do is keep it as is, just because then you can get really smooth shapes through these long tubes all the way around the model. But then the trade-off is that you won't really be able to use this side piece. You'll have to basically create the piece from the front and just smooth the shapes together. Yeah, no, this is yeah, I don't do a ton of UV texture model editing because I hate it. But when I do it, I try to do it nicely. And Pepakura does, in a lot of ways, prepare you for the act of, like, preparing a model for texture editing, which I think is really kind of hilarious, because that's when I first started Pepakura, I didn't realize that. I didn't realize that those processes were so similar in many respects. It's kind of funny because I've actually had a bunch of people comment that on I've got some time lapses of me doing really complex unfolds and whatnot on the channel and over on Facebook, and I've had people comment about how it resembles that process quite a bit. Yeah, so this would work for either the airborne trooper or purge trooper from Fallen Order. And there's some really tight vertices in there that I don't think I need to mess too hard with right now. Let's see here. We'll create some circular shapes. Come on. Come on. Yeah, there we go. Awesome. This is great. So this, like I said, this one's probably not going to be done tonight, just because there's a lot going on right here. I don't feel bad saying that. In return, we'll put out most of those animated templates that we were talking about and showing off a little earlier. And then we'll have some more of this by the end of the week. And, there'll be some freebies. There'll be some extra stuff for our patrons. It'll be great. If you like what I do, please consider becoming a patron, because it's a really easy way to help out the channel. You guys end up with some more extra templates, and you see a lot of these templates a bit before everybody else, too. So, if you like the work, why not become a patron? Become a patron. There we go. It's fun. I can't say that the community is super talkative over there, but a lot of them are active in our Discord as well, and they can tell you there's stuff going on over there, and they have input on stuff, and it's a cool place. I do not eventually post everything from Patreon. I post a lot of the stuff from Patreon, but some of the stuff is stuff that I post only to Patreon. Actually, recently, let me see if I got this here. One of the most recent examples of something that only went to Patreon, I actually wound up making a Witch King helmet from Lord of the Rings. No, leave me alone, Winrar. A Witch King helmet from Lord of the Rings template that I was really quite happy with. And I'm not going to sit here and claim that I am the only person... I'm the only person who has made this, but I will say that I really like the way these templates turned out, and they are, they're exclusive for my patrons. Ta-da! I don't know. I'd really like to start doing actually like physical rewards for patrons. I've had some really fun ideas lately. I really want to find somebody to do a cartoonist rendering of me dizzy. Because that has come up a lot recently, the fact that I have vertigo. And I think it'd be very funny to have, like, a pin of, like, just the me a little dizzy, like, with my apron. I think that'd be very cute. Just a very silly thing for patrons. All right, let's see here. And then I think you probably could do this as one piece, but I think just in terms of making... Ooh, that was weird. Making sure that it doesn't... Oh, I think it's going up and around. That's weird. Okay, let's go there to there. Here we go. Just in terms of that there, we want to make sure we preserve that shape. Okay. With that, I think this might be where we end up leaving this. You can see we've already started breaking up the pieces pretty broadly. To that end, I might actually wind up deleting some of these faces or just reducing the overall polygon count, because this is a little big, I think, a little too much. We could probably simplify this down and just make it a little easier to pep anyways in the process. But for now, I want to thank everybody who's come out, because this has been a really great, very lively stream. This has been really fun too, because it's fun to just kind of embrace the fact that I love doing these trooper helmets. We have a ton of trooper buckets. I'm going to put a link to all the trooper buckets we've done so far, from Bad Batch to Arc Trooper to animated and real clones, just all over the place. Even some really specific ones that Diaxis has sent over to us, we're going to be looking at pretty soon here, because we've got, say, Cheese Grater from Rebels, which we're going to be messing with just a little bit. We've got, I've also got this one right here with ATDP Pilot that I've started working out as well. Here, put that object back in. Yeah, so some really cool, some really niche helmets. We're gonna dig right in. With that, I'll want to thank everybody. Thank everybody for coming out, because this has been really fun. I'll thank the patrons, of course. We've got Sam, Suit Up Props, Benjamin, Laura, Ruben, Maggie, Pandulce, K-Snake, and Austin of AJ Plays Piano. You guys rock. Thank you so much for being a part of this. Again, if you'd like to become a patron, link down below in our link tree. But for now, I have been Jaden. Thank you all so much for coming. And as always, please take care.